The rain's going to just really start to become more intense as the day goes on. So there's a few showers out there right now, but we're thinking mid to late morning, another bigger round, some lightning included, and that flood threat. In fact, the model's updating here this morning. A big thing that sticks out to me, they're a little more robust than we saw yesterday. So preparing you for the rain and never cross roads that are covered by water. That's the big thing to get across here. So we got rainfall forecast the next 5 days. Orange and red. Okay, so 3 to 6 inches. That's a lot of rain. And notice really centered on Central and South Florida for the heaviest rain, but even some big problems heading up toward North Florida as well. So really, it's a big soaker, a rainmaker for all of us here in Florida. In fact, you can see the flood risk going all the way up into Duval, St. John's, and here in Tampa, we're in the yellow. So that's a level 2 out of 4 risk. Excessive rainfall outlook indicating there could be some flash flooding, not just your typical flood advisory. So that's usually a 5 to 15% chance, which is way higher than we normally see here during our rainy season. So that's why we have the weather impact alert, and that'll be in effect all the way through Wednesday. Okay, so occasional heavy rain and flooding, and we're going to be streaming on 10 Tampa Bay Plus. Okay, so we'll have all the latest models. In fact, I'm like a cook in the kitchen over there, looking at the latest American models, GFS, the high resolution models here. So let's put it all together, what I'm seeing right now with the very latest new information. Well, the Hurricane Center up their chances just slightly overnight to a 30% chance of tropical development. Notice we've got that big trough offshore Florida and Mayport. This will cross Florida over the next couple of days. So really that's going to be our rainmaker, right? It's going to cross Florida with lots of lift. And then if it does develop, it will be well to the west of us and heading away. So just keep that in mind. Even if the chances go up and Dexter tries to get started in the Gulf with a little lower wind shear and those warm water temperatures, anything that would develop would be heading away from us. And I do expect some improving conditions as we head into a late week. So here's the European model. There's X marking the spot. Here's our weak area of low pressure developing, and notice all the heavy rain, just the atmosphere is saturated with moisture. But one thing sticks out. It's not a very organized system. All right, we don't have any tightly packed isobars, very weak surface reflection. And then notice as it heads to New Orleans, it tries to kink up and get a little more stronger as it heads a little closer to land there. So we'll keep an eye on that by mid to late week, maybe a little better chance of development. But notice heading away from home. GFS model very similar. I think we do have consensus, and I do have a high confidence that we're not going to get Dexter anywhere near Florida if it does form. In fact, as you look at the GFS model, again, nothing very strong in the Gulf, maybe a little more intense than we saw with the European, but again, it's not very organized. It's disorganized as it heads to New Orleans by late week. So what this means for us, everything's on track for our heavy rain. We've been talking about this for about a week, and as we look outside right now it's really the calm ahead of some of the heavy downpours. Not too bad in St. Pete and Tampa with low to mid 80s. We take a look at radar, verifying that with just a few light showers this morning, but we're going to see some more rounds of rain really start to fill in as we head through the afternoon. But some roadways for I-4, 275 and I-75 this morning. Be extra safe. And then notice, there we go. We're going to see the rain start to fill in late morning, early afternoon. And then for the drive home, it does look like we'll have some big issues. And get used to it. Tomorrow, some more rounds of rain, especially in the afternoon with high temperatures back in the mid to upper 80s. Looking for a break? Well, we're going to have to be patient. All right, we got a lot of red on that 7-day weather impact alert through Wednesday, and then some slowly improving conditions as we head into late week into the weekend.